So we're going to do the transits first, and then we're going to do a live astrology reading using one of you guys' charts as an example. This evening, today, we have a new moon in Aquarius. I want to use something. There we go. And it's conjunct the sun, really highlighting your ability to connect to soul, connect to your spirit, to where you see yourself going into the future with your true passion and your true self. The sun is about your identity more so than your ascendant, but what you're growing into, and using the fire and the passion inside of you to grow into your purpose. And so a lot of people today have been looking back at some of the things that they maybe haven't finished in the past as inspiration, maybe flipping through old journals and old drawing books, looking at old ideas and coming up with like, wow, oh my gosh, I have abilities in me, and the sparks of creativity that I've never really even tapped into. And we have Mercury that's going to be moving into Pisces on Sunday. Well, now we're in this space where we can kind of look at our wounds or look at where we're going and not get too emotional about it. Since it's Aquarius energy, you'll tend to be okay with being aloof and being independent and being inventive when it comes to working through issues and problems and problem solving. Well, when we move into Pisces with Mercury, things will get pretty sensitive and emotional, and people will be like, what did you mean by that? Why'd you say that like that? You know, there'll be a lot of projecting going on and a lot of maybe foggy thinking and losing things that you usually don't lose, like your keys, and just disorganized thoughts, because I feel like with Pisces energies, things that are in the subconscious tend to float up, and we're not used to living in that realm where a lot of us are actually those of us who are here to do that. You get used to it. But for the most part, other people will have a really strong response and not be ready to take responsibility for their own triggers. And you might get projected on a lot if you're the type of person to listen and be compassionate. So look out for that. That transit, well, Mercury moves pretty fast. That's what I'm trying to say. So you won't have to really worry that it's going to last forever, but it just might seem like forever, because Pisces is about past lives and spirituality, and you'll be like, oh my God, this is lasting so long. But it'll be over before you know it, and you'll be back into a fire sign where you'll be happy to be fiery and independent and think about you, because Pisces is about thinking about the collective, you know, and us all like trying to get along and love each other. But the reality is, because Pisces is really good at putting a fog over your eyes about reality. The reality is that, you know, we have unhealed issues, all of us. But then we point the finger and be like, no, it's you, not me, it's you. So Venus has moved into Capricorn today. We're coming from Sagittarius, where we've been like the wee pig, like, wee, free, I can do what I want, I can I want to hang out with my friends, oh well, I'll get paid next week, I'll have it, you know, because Sagittarius gives you like this feeling that you have this unsurmountable amount of good luck and expansion, and you might have taken advantage of it. Well, good for you if you have, because now you have Venus moving into Capricorn, and Capricorn will get you right together. Capricorn will get you right into shape and tell you, okay, what have you been doing? Who have you been hanging out with? And why haven't you been doing what you're supposed to be doing? And little old Venus right here is very accommodating and willing to listen, but still very independent, but she won't be able to wiggle and charm her way out of taking care of her responsibilities. And you might have to get a bit more discipline than you're used to. And this transit is going to last, I think, until like March 1st. And you'll be free again in Aquarius to be independent. Because Capricorn energy will make you feel entrapped. Like, it's like an a father with lots of rules and regulations, you know, when you want to play. You know, it's like, I know it's for my own good, but I can't wait for this to be over. All right, so now we're going to get into the reading of this chart here. This is a very intense chart. I asked Spirit, because surprisingly, when I first sat down and looked at the chart, nothing really stuck out to me, because it seems like all of the, I did notice that things seem to be like really evenly spread out in this chart. Like, I was like interested in that. It's like, let's see what's going on here. But Spirit really, at first pointed me to the areas of Mercury, Saturn, and Jupiter. And I pulled some tarot cards to go with it. I pulled the Six of Swords. This is the animal tarot deck. Don't mind the animals. My sister can't stand when I use this deck to give her a reading, because she already doesn't take what I do seriously. And then when she sees the animals, she just like be like, okay, I'm done. I'm not listening to you. But yeah, then the Hierophant. And then the Three of Swords, which gave me a sense that someone that is knowledgeable and who you look up to has passed, gone, or is trying to leave. You don't want them to go. You didn't want them to go. And it could be a childhood issue where, I don't know if it's your father or an authority figure who left too soon, because you have Saturn in Aries, and Saturn denotes an authority figure in your life, your father, and Aries is really selfish energy, thinking about themselves first, and then it's in the 9th house of travel, you know, so they may not have really been there for you. Maybe it could be for psycho-spiritual reasons, because the 9th house is about your higher mind and religion and spirituality, but it also denotes traveling, like physical travel. And a lot of times the 9th house will have you travel to different places in the world so that you can expand your mind. But for you, this is a point of sadness, of grief. And then I needed some clarity, so I pulled some extra cards, and I pulled the Four of Wands and the Devil. And to me, that speaks volumes to the points that we're going to talk about next in your charts. All right, let's see here. All right, this is amazing, actually. So, look at this. I was looking at your chart a little bit deeper, and I'm like, oh, you have a kite. You have a kite chart. A kite chart is 3 trines. Here's a trine. Here's another one. There's another one. Oops. Opposition. between Venus and Pluto, sextiles between Pluto, Neptune, and another sextile between the Moon and Pluto. This is a high level of destiny that you can't escape. And you might feel like, do I have any choices in my life that I can make for myself? Because when you have such high levels of fate, things that, are beyond your control, you just might not feel like life is a box of chocolates. And this Four of Wands and the Devil, to me, is talking about this Pluto here in your 4th house. Now that we saw that, let's get that out of the way. Okay, so you have this Pluto in the 4th house. And that's the theme that is centered around your whole entire kite. That is a catalyst for your healing. That is where all the drama is in your life. Pluto in the 4th house is a lot of drama and immaturity in your family. People not really knowing how to communicate. A lot of projection. You may have been scapegoated. There's another Sagittarius energy right here, just like the Sagittarius energy right here, that denotes that, people may have put their freedom or their education or what they wanted to do and their point of view and honesty, just the lower levels of Sag energy, more than put you and your nurturing first, and so that leaves you to have to heal all of this energy, but it's a catalyst for you. If you can look at it like an alchemical process that's going to divinely help you fly into detachment, because your purpose in life, because you have the moon next to your north node, part of your purpose in life is to be a servant and a great mediator and a teacher for people, to let them know that, you can put yourself first, value yourself, love art, beauty, because you have Chiron in Libra, which is also more Venus. You have this Venus here, and you have Chiron connected to Venetian energy. And so you spend a lot of time listening to people and trying to reason with people and trying to beautifully explain and reason with people in a way that is helpful, but it's not taken that way. And being around that energy drives you completely insane. And so then you have this Neptune here. You have this Neptune in the 6th house. Your nerves are shot to shingles. It makes you completely internally sick. All that drama. And you trying to help and be there and be the voice of reason and understanding, and trying to take responsibility for other people's healing. A lot of the things that you're healing within yourself and need healing is the absorption of this energy. Yeah. And it seems like, nobody really understands what your experience is, because the way you handle things is very cool And you try to be the level-headed one, because you don't like all that drama. But it's the drama, though. And wherever Pluto is in your chart is where drama is needed as a catalyst for your healing. You can't avoid it. You couldn't have avoided it. It's kind of like a pow, flash that you couldn't escape. And it permeates like every area of your life. So what do you do? What do you do? You know what you got to do. And a lot of times where we have Pluto, the need for maturity in this lifetime in this area is so intense. You know, it kind of makes you feel rebellious. You like rebelliously try to stay and heal and conquer something that you're not going to be able to conquer because it's out of your control. And Pluto is about being out of control. You have to surrender. That's the only thing to do, is surrender to the truth. Surrender to the truth that, you know, your life isn't going to be like, it wasn't comfortable. That's really what it is. It can be in the future, but you have to take the steps necessary in order to make that so. And that means claiming your life, claiming what you value above the drama so that you can use your kite to fly. You have this very special kite here. And you can either get tangled up in it or you can let it teach you how to fly. All right, I'm going to in this reading is going to be on my YouTube channel. And if anyone would like a personal reading from me, just give me a call. I know this is a really deep chart, and there's a lot to discuss here, and there's a lot to heal. But I believe in you. You can do it. The universe wouldn't have given you all of this. Basically, you have a lot of power. Whenever there's suffering, there's potential for initiation into higher levels of consciousness and power. Anytime there's powerlessness, there's a catalyst for a greater sense of empowerment, more than you can possibly ever imagine. But it's a process, and it takes a lot of humility and take a responsibility for your existence. When a lot of things that have happened weren't necessarily your fault, you know, but the connections and relationships in your life are in place to be kind of like the pressure so that you can alchemize a certain type of energy. Okay. That's all I'm going to say. I can talk forever and ever. I can get super long-winded. Again, this video, if you ever want to rewatch this, I'm going to post this on my YouTube channel, if I can figure out how. Because I was planning on doing it how I usually do it, and it didn't work out. So maybe not. We'll see. Good night, everybody.